So for the last few years, I've been hearing this over and over again about how Christianity any day now is going to be made illegal and Christians are going to be oppressed, yada, yada, yada. Man, this Christian oppression is just getting out of hand. What with the gay agenda? The super gay agenda? Gay marriage? Ruining the sanctity of matrimony? Ruining it for people like me and my fourth wife, Luann. Can you believe that shit? They're taking prayer out of schools. They took down the 10 Commandments at the courthouse. Just you wait, brothers. Pretty soon that Kenyan Muslim atheist Obama, he's gonna have us thrown in concentration camps for preaching the word of Jesus. The gospel's gonna be outlawed. You're gonna throw us all in those FEMA camps they've been building. First they'll take our guns. Then they'll round us all up like cattle for the slaughter. Now, the simple truth is, 72% of this country, as of a 2014 Gallup poll, identify as some form of Christian. Who's oppressing you? You're the majority. You are the majority. But wait, you say, what is a Christian? You've got the Protestants over here, and among them you've got Baptists, you've got Calvinists, you've got Lutherans, you've got all these different Reformed churches. None of them really agree 100%. So, instead of devolving into some no true Scotsman bullshit, let's look at what the Bible actually has to say about what makes a true Christian. I have here a New Living Translation. So this text may be a little bit different than what you may be used to if you read the Bible. The difference being this was actually derived from the original text as much as possible, which was either in Hebrew, Greek, or Aramaic, depending on the text we're talking about. That actually diverges quite a bit from something like the King James translation, which was originally translated from a Greek translation called the Septuagint to Latin, which was called the Vulgate, from Latin into Saxon German, from Saxon German into English. So no, the 1611 King James is not the only inspired translation, as you might have heard. It's actually a piece of shit. Now, this is what's called a red letter verse, meaning that supposedly it's the spoken word of Jesus. But when the Son of Man comes in all his glory, and all the angels with him, then he will sit upon his glorious throne. All the nations will be gathered in his presence, and he will separate them, as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. He will place the sheep at his right hand, and the goats at his left. Then the king will say to those on his right, "Come, you who are blessed by my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry, and you fed me. I was thirsty, and you gave me a drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me into your home. I was naked, and you gave me clothing. I was sick, and you cared for me. I was in prison, and you visited me." Then the righteous ones will reply, "Lord, when did we ever see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink, or a stranger and show you hospitality, or naked and give you clothing? When did we ever see you sick or in prison and visit you?" And the king will tell them, "I assure you, when you did it to one of the least of these, my brothers and sisters, you were doing it to me." And it goes on. Then the king will return to those on the left and say, "Away with you, you cursed ones, into the eternal fire prepared for the devil and his demons." Huh. "For I was hungry, and you didn't feed me. I was thirsty, and you didn't give me anything to drink. I was a stranger, and you didn't invite me into your home. I was naked, and you gave me no clothing. I was sick and in prison, and you didn't visit me." Then they will reply, "Lord, when did we ever see you hungry, or thirsty, or a stranger, or naked, or sick, or in prison, and not help you?" And he will answer, "I assure you, when you refuse to help the least of these, my brothers and sisters, you are refusing to help me." And they will go away into eternal punishment, but the righteous will go to eternal life. Now that tells me that since both groups, the sheep and the goats in this parable, are referring to Jesus as Lord, Lord, They're all identifying as Christians. They meet the criteria of John 3:16. They believed in Jesus. They called him Lord. They paid fealty to him. Yet apparently that wasn't enough. It stands to reason that you should probably do what he fucking says. Otherwise, apparently you burn like a fucking biscuit forever. Now, if you ask me, I think this is all just a bunch of bullshit. I know a little too much about how the sausage is made. Church history, the canonization, the translations, where they came from. Man, it's a giant clusterfuck. But if you actually believe this, why aren't you out living it? If you were, you might actually be in danger of being persecuted. That might actually happen. You see, then you would be challenging the status quo that exists in our current culture. The powers that be don't really like that kind of thing. Now, the reason I'm confident that you're not out doing these things is because people are really, really upset. They're really up in arms that no Obama's going to take away our blah, blah, blah. Yet, nobody seemed to have actually noticed that it is actually illegal to be a Christian in 70 cities across the continental United States, plus Puerto Rico. What, you don't believe me?
Doesn't. What do you think I am, huh? What do you think I am, fucking worm like you? I told you, man. I told.
Where's the fucking outrage? Why isn't anybody pissed off about this shit? Where are the headlines? Christianity literally illegal in North America. There aren't any. Because you don't fucking practice what you preach. You're a bunch of fucking hypocrites. I see you out protesting the gays and their scary rainbow flags, because that's fucking threatening, right? Yet, you can't bring yourself to do the few fucking things that you're supposed to do to get you into heaven. Now, if you ask me, I think it's a bunch of bullshit. I think that a gift demanded is not a gift at all. That's what you call tax. But even so, based on your own criteria to get into heaven, if you actually believe the Bible literally, what the fuck are you doing? You're all up in everybody else's business telling us what we can and can't do, but you're not even doing the very basic things you have to do to consider yourself a Christian. As far as I see it, you've got one of two choices. Either A, drop the fucking pretenses and stop pretending, or B, go out and fucking do it. Either way, shut the fuck up.
Just wanna live my life, feeling great, feeling fine, that you need to waste the time. Just wanna live my life, feeling great, feeling fine, that you need to waste the time. Just wanna live my life, feeling great, feeling fine, that you need to waste the time. Just wanna live my life, feeling great, feeling fine, that you need to waste our time.
Why, just the other day they took down the 10 Commandments at the courthouse. How are we supposed to know not to make graven images? Well, I mean, technically it ain't against the law anyway, but it's against God's law. Although, I do have a bird feeder with one of those little naked peeing cherubs, you know, peeing in the fountain like the water comes out their ding-dong. That's not really what God was talking about, though, was it?